move, scumbag.
Oh, shit!
Surprise! You weren't looking for that at Paulie's by chance.
Sam, what's going on? I thought we were meeting alone.
The situation's changed, Tom. I had to decide whose side I was on, and sorry, but it would be suicidal to stand on your side. I can live with murder, though.
So you killed Paulie?
Well, I was more the means to his death. The same as I am in your case.
I would never have expected this from you, Sam.
Well, I'm in a good mood. Things are looking up for me, and I found a bag of money.
So killing off your partners is a big laugh? Maybe I should try it.
It ain't bad, but you probably won't have time.
It's never too late to start. I guess honor's out of the picture.
Honor's meaningless. This is business, and you've broken its unwritten rules many times over, Tom. Maybe I feel some pity, but that's out of place in business.
I didn't notice that I was the cause of the family's problems.
Really? You did what you wanted, Tom. You didn't kill Frank. You let that whore get away, and then the bank? You can't do what you know is right because you don't know nothing. You don't grasp the effects of your actions. The Don is the thinker.
You were never a great thinker, so you probably need him. That's not how I feel. I can think for myself.
The opinion of Don Salieri is that he won't go and sit in jail just because of your feelings. And I agree with his opinion completely. Don Salieri really liked you, Tom. And I did too. We'll cry together at the funeral.
You poor bastard, Sam. I feel sorry for you.
But I'm alive. It's a pity you can't use that money. Oh, but don't worry. We'll give Sarah a little something. You know, single mothers don't have it easy these days. The Don will take care of her. He isn't as much of a monster as you think. Goodbye, Tom. It was nice knowing you. Take good care of him, boys. And please, don't make him suffer. He's my buddy. As I see it, the boys underestimated you, Tom. Well, I hope they'll be luckier this time. Boys, be careful you don't break anything. There are lots of beautiful and valuable things in here.
It looks like you underestimated your new partners. Maybe you ought to change sides.
It's still not over, Tom.
Things aren't what they look like, Sam. Salieri also double-crossed you.
What are you talking about?
We almost got killed because of those stupid cigars. Salieri knew that the job was risky. There were diamonds hidden between those cigars. He didn't want to give us a cut. That's why Paulie wanted to take the bank. Because he realized how Salieri was ripping us off.
He told me about those diamonds, Tom. He only wanted to keep them secret so nobody knew where they were before he sold them. Besides, the diamonds have nothing to do with the fact that you didn't kill Frank. He broke the omerta, which is worse, Tom.
How do you know I didn't kill Frank?
You can blame it all on someone else you didn't kill. You're too human. She came back to the city, and we found her by accident.
Damn it.
Tom, you know you can't trust a dame. I can understand it isn't easy to kill your wife's best friend. Yeah, I should have done it for you. She also pleaded with me and cried. Well, we realized that we couldn't rely on you, so we checked up a little and found out about Frank.
Sam, do you really think everything has to end like this? We still got a chance.
There ain't no way back now, Tom. I'm sorry.
Ow!
The same situation again, Tom. And once again, you can't decide.
Damn it.
Oh. You did it. But they'll get you all the same. Salieri, we'll get you. He stood by you. You rat. You're dangerous, Tom. And Paulie is dead. He was never sure that you wouldn't forgive his death. Oh, you're gonna have to hide like an outcast. And one day they'll get you. All the same. Like Frank.
They found him?
You only lengthened his life. But in the end, they found him. All the same. And Frank was the Don's only real friend. Friendship ain't worth shit. Oh! Ow! Oh.
I'm sorry, sir.
You
I
idiot!
didn't mean it.
Do you know what you've done? Do you know how much that car cost?
I was driving slowly, Mr. Morello. I don't know how,
Do you mean to say that I crashed into your car?
no. Sir, I wanted, no, sir,
No! Faster gets in my way!
Salieri built his respect as a businessman. Everybody knew that they didn't need to fear him if they did what they should. They knew that if they needed something, they could come to Mr. Salieri. So Salieri made friends, often helped people with various problems, and expected the same in return. When somebody crossed him, they broke a cardinal rule, and everybody knew what would happen. Morello was just a mean bastard. He built his power through violence. Even his friends feared him. Most people just tried to avoid him.
You must be joking, right? How could you get through this?
Now it was really bad. Billy's pop, the councilman, wasn't very happy with us. And he was in bed with Morello's. Without the Mafia's help, he wouldn't have got his seat. He also started to mobilize the police. So we now had both the mob and the police against us.
Oh, come on.
Hey, both sides benefited from it. The police could look good in the fight against crime, and at the same time get fat payoffs from Morello, who they left alone. And with the help of the police, Morello could eliminate his greatest competitor. An ideal situation. And things were going bad for us. Salieri lost a bundle, and I wasn't doing too good after all that killing. It started to seem that there was no point to anything, that I should enjoy everything as much as possible and quickly, while I still had the chance, when it's so easy to lose your life. Maybe that's why Paulie and me started drinking.
You weren't falling apart, maybe.
My life was just a trail of murders, crimes, and alcohol. If Frank hadn't helped me out, I would have ended up worse. It was weird, but suddenly he came to me and wanted to help.
Your system works, but you know why? Because you're a bunch of selfish murderers. And you only care about your own gain. All your efforts are spent ensuring that you live like pigs in shit. That's why you're so successful. You're only looking out for yourselves. We look out after everybody. A few cops have to ensure law and order for all, and that's a much harder job.
That's true. But you can easily leave the Don outside your protection. He'll watch his own back.
And what about you? What are you sitting here for? So, you killed Morello. That must have felt good, huh?
We celebrated. Salieri was thrilled, of course. We ran the whole town, practically, and there seemed to be an end to the bloodshed. For a while, I felt like a king, until I came to a realization. If a regular guy like me could kill the most powerful man in the city, what good was all his power? Hell, if he hadn't been so powerful, he'd probably still be alive. It seemed to me that no matter how strong someone was, there was always somebody stronger to take them out.
So where did that intuitive thought take you?
Greediness is bullshit. When you have no money, you think that a few bucks a month will be enough. Then you realize that it wouldn't be bad to have a nice car. You get a great job in some high-up position, but in actuality, you're thinking about going higher. Before you know it, you want to be the President of the United States, and you want to win the war against the Germans. Luckily, that won't happen. Plus, the whole strategy of watching other people's backs has one basic flaw. The whole time you have to watch your own back, in case someone else has the same idea. So I thought to myself that maybe I ought to change my priorities a little.
Great Bible story.
Laugh it up. You know where it got me in the end. This.
Who is it?
It's from 1920. The old man is Don Pepone. The two younger ones are Salieri and Morello. This photo convinced me that this kind of life is poisonous. Morello and Salieri were friends, and they were both commanders of Pepone's regime. But in the 1920s, they got Don Pepone killed because of some deal. Strangely enough, Salieri still admires the guy now. Afterward, they divided up the city, and each ruled their own part of it. But they started to compete with each other. I ended up being Salieri's instrument of death to kill his best friend, to save him from looking Morello in the eye. It occurred to me that my friends and the people I loved were the same. Someday I'd turn to Paulie and be looking straight down the barrel of a gun. I couldn't be sure of anybody, above or below me.
But you were risking your life every day. Being a sharpshooter for the Mafia ain't no bed of roses the way you tell it.
It's different when you're living it. When you're full of energy and you're fighting for your life with someone who's like your brother. You're just two soldiers who know what needs to be done. And it all depends on your ability to survive. It's a war. The constant feeling that you can't even trust your best friend is terrible. You are alone, and death can come from anywhere. I'd lie awake at night wondering if the joke my best friend told me was really just a joke, or if I should get prepared for my own execution. A person needs someone he can trust.
So it was you again, huh? You destroyed the picture collection, worth a few $1 million?
I wasn't planning on it, but somehow it worked out that way.
Otherwise, that's everything?
I got out of there fast. It was no picnic. I really was in danger, but I pulled it off. I took the wife and daughter and immediately left the country. Sam was right. If they decided to find Frank in Europe and take revenge almost 5 years after he disappeared, they wouldn't let me just leave after betraying them.
And you're willing to say all that you've now said to me in front of a court? And give evidence against all those men? Don't you think the situation will be a lot worse for you? What you're planning to do now isn't betrayal. It's more like treason.
If these people go to jail, or better yet, death row, they won't be able to take revenge on me. At least not as easily as if they were free. I am willing to give evidence against them if you ensure our protection, and after the trial, a new identity for me, my wife, and my daughter.
If we manage to pull it off, it'll be the biggest legal battle this country's ever seen. It's an interesting offer. I don't know if it's moral to help somebody like you, but I think the results will be worth it. I think we'll help you.
Everything worked out until the legal case. I sat in my cell and wrote down the evidence I had against all the people I had worked with. People I had been friends with for 10 years. The case was huge and caused a shock throughout the country. Salieri got life. Even some of his thugs got the chair. The shortest sentence was 8 years. I spent the whole time in a closed cell at a secret location with no visitors. I didn't see Sarah or my little girl the entire time. In the end, it was worth it. Norman got us new identities and moved us to the other end of the U.S. I got work as a driver for a respectable company. We started a whole new life. This peace was only interrupted by the war, but we got through it.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes?
Mr. Salieri sends his regards.
You know, the world isn't run by the laws written on paper. It's run by people. Some according to laws, others not. It depends on each individual how his world will be, how he makes it. And you also need a whole lot of luck, so that somebody else doesn't make your life hell. And it ain't as simple as they tell you in grade school. But it is good to have strong values and to maintain them. In marriage, in crime, in war. Always and everywhere. I messed up. So did Paulie and Sam. We wanted a better life, but in the end, we were a lot worse off than most other people. You know, I think it's important to keep a balance in things. Yeah, balance, that's the right word. Because the guy who wants too much risks losing absolutely everything. Of course, the guy who wants too little from life might not get anything at all.